The weekly candle's looking mad sus before closing. What's the deal? Are we gonna keep dumping? Plus, we've got that CPI data bomb dropping this Wednesday. What are the whales and big players up to now? Did they mess up? If you're vibing with this content, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and ring that bell. Peeping the BTC weekly, we bounced off that crucial 51K to 52K support last week. Then price shot up, filling that gap from 59,500 to 62,500, which is the CME daily gap. Check it out. After filling that gap, we got this long-legged doji. Remember last week when we talked about that descending channel midline and the 61K level? Those two are the biggest hurdles right now, no cap. If we break below 59,500, we're looking at the daily time frame, and we gotta be careful. We might test that 57,700 level, which is the POC. Right now, we're not quite there, but if we get a quick bounce, here's what I'm watching. Looking at CME, we can see it retested the bottom of the previous gap around 59,500, leaving a tiny gap. So if we bounce and fill that gap this afternoon, factoring in the CME price difference, we're looking at about 60K. After that, we gotta be super careful. If it can't push through, it might keep dropping. Maybe retesting the POC on the short term, then continuing down. This could be the move for this drop from 70K on the daily. Now, about that CPI data dropping Wednesday, it's huge, right? What I'm really paying attention to is the funding rate. Over the weekend, we saw 2 days of consolidation before the weekly close and another retest. Funding rates kept climbing, but open interest was dropping. This means the funding rate increase isn't from more longs entering, because open interest isn't going up. With funding rates up and open interest down, it's the shorts buying to cover. Y'all might think that's weird, right? You'd expect shorts to cover during pumps or sideways action, but why are they covering so much during a dump? Shouldn't we see funding rates drop, open interest decrease, and longs capitulate or even chase shorts? I was thinking about this earlier, and it might be related to what we talked about on the 5th. Remember last Monday when we spotted those Binance whales suddenly shorting heavily at 70K, showing signs of taking partial profits? I remember sharing that during the sharp drop. So I'm thinking, maybe after taking some profits on that retest, they're using this second test to close out the rest of their positions. Or they might just be trying to avoid the risk from Wednesday's CPI data. 'Cause if the CPI data's good, meeting or beating expectations, with unemployment up, which already happened last week, and CPI inflation data down, the Fed's got no excuse not to cut rates. You feel me? The main reason the Fed's been hesitant to cut rates early is they're worried inflation might bounce back after they worked so hard to bring it down. So if inflation's under control, the next big thing is to prevent a recession before it hits the broader economy. We talked about this in detail in the last video. A lot of people are worried rate cuts might actually cause a crash, whether it bounces directly or after breaking through. Let's just treat it as a second test for now. I think as long as it can find support around 54K to 55K, it might have a chance to keep pushing up after the CPI data confirms rate cut expectations. If you're trying some short-term shorts at these levels, like the POC or a bit lower, you could take some partial profits. Now let's check out the latest on-chain data. We can see all the small holders aren't doing much, but holders with less than 1 BTC are buying again after 2 days of selling and consolidation. What I'm really watching are the 100+ BTC whales. They're selling again. After last week's labor data showed some improvement, the big whales did slow down their selling. It really feels like the whales are choosing to play it safe and hold more cash because of the broader market conditions. Once things started looking up a bit, their selling immediately decreased, and we even saw some buying, right? I was hoping after the weekend buying, we'd see them keep buying today and even increase the amount. But we can see not only is there no buying, they've sold over 1,800 BTC in the past week or so, especially as we get closer to the key moment of the September rate cut. We're seeing that any little change can affect the broader economic data. Even small data points we didn't pay much attention to before can now cause big waves. So with the upcoming CPI data, which was already super important, everyone needs to be extra careful and keep a healthy cash position. Just like we're seeing with the Binance whales and on-chain big players, they're all trying to reduce their risk as much as possible. If you added to your spot positions last month, when the average cost for institutional spot ETFs was 54K to 55K, or last week in that crucial 51K to 52K weekly support zone,
Just hold tight. Let's patiently wait for the broader market conditions to clear up. The overall direction is still undoubtedly bullish, and that hasn't changed.
Now, let's look at ETH. We can see that after hitting that key level of 2,720 last week, the price pulled back to 2,555, which is similar to what we shared with you guys a few days ago. Let's zoom in on that. After retesting and retesting, it touched that 2,720 key level again, but earlier today it dropped again before the weekly close, coming very close to 2,500. What I'm watching most closely now is whether it can reclaim that 2,720 to 2,811 key range. We can see there's significant resistance on both sides. If it can reclaim and hold above 2,811, which is a very important parallel low point on the weekly time frame, I think ETH might have a chance to make a fake breakdown, reclaim its position, reverse, and then continue upward. That's the kind of move we're looking at. That's the full breakdown for today, fam. Hope it helps you navigate this crazy crypto roller coaster. If it's giving you value, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and turn on that notification bell. Let's grow this community and stack those Satoshis together. We'll catch you on the flip side tomorrow.